So Street Fighter 6 has released some new gameplay, official gameplay for us all to check out, and I'm very excited to talk about it with you guys. Now, if you guys notice something, the camera quality is not going to be as good. You're going to have to wait about a month or two because I'm going to get a replacement camera. I'm using a temporary camera for a month or so because I had an incident where I broke my camera. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. And I need to get a replacement so that way I'm in my full 1080p like I usually am. For now, you guys are gonna have to deal with about 720 and a little bit lower, which is heartbreaking for me. All the gameplay footage in this video is going to be 1080p and higher. So do not worry about any of that. Okay, so first thing I want to touch on before we talk about actual gameplay is we did get our looks at the roster. And I gotta say, I know it has less characters than what we had in Street Fighter 4, and or at least more commonly known characters in Street Fighter 4 and really 5. But I'm liking the roster. And the characters that we do have that we're familiar with are just the basic characters that we use as bases for Street Fighter in general. And ultimately, they give them really cool redesigns I'm really digging. Like the fact that they have Ryu wearing Oro's cloak. Really cool design choice, and rocking the beard. Ken. I talked a bit about Ken in Street Fighter 6 video prior to this. I'll probably leave a link to that, but I love the idea that he's a little bit more rugged looking because he's a dad now. He's a dad. He's probably a little bit more lenient on his training, or less lenient on his training. He's not as consistent. He's put on maybe a little bit of weight, but he's not out of shape, if that makes sense. He's just a little bit more out of practice. So he's going to probably have that rugged look, or because he's also a little bit more laid back as well. That's just Ken's personality. He looks more deceptive. Dalsim's older. Chun-Li's older. She looks like she's Grand Master now of some sort of place. Ultimately, these characters that we've known and loved is just, they're older now, and they're designing their characters based off the fact that they're older now. Also leaving room for newer characters who are a bit younger to step in and also get a little bit of their own shine. Maybe not overshine the older characters by a lot, but they'll bring their own unique style and play style into this game. And that's what we've seen with characters like Jamie and his playstyle, because his playstyle was very unique in this gameplay. For example, his character, as you're fighting, you want to build up that drinking meter that he has underneath his health bar, because apparently he can do some crazy stuff once he's drunk, because he's Drunken Master. Chun-Li, from what I've seen, she plays very similar. I know it doesn't look like it, but she looks very similar to Chun-Li from Marvel vs. Capcom in that playstyle. Just very fast, very fluent, and also really good. And from what I've heard too, ducking, you get to use multiple buttons for ducking, and it does different attacks each time. That is so interesting and unique and different that I'm curious to see where they go with that. So introduce more focus attacks, and this time instead of focus attacks being, something to use to stun your opponent, which you do use it for that, it's more of a thing where it's kind of like a wager, where both characters can do it at the same time, and maybe something will happen there. If you do it off by a second with somebody else, and maybe, that'll knock the other person out for a second. It's all about planning what you're doing in this game and trying to go off of a person's mistakes in this play style. And it's a very different feel than what I'm used to, and I'm pretty sure what a lot of people are used to in a Street Fighter game. And that's something that I've always noticed with Street Fighter in general, is that not every game has been the same. Street Fighter Third Strike is my favorite fighting game of all time, hands down. One of my favorite fighting games. Mortal Kombat, 9 is my favorite other fighting game. But Street Fighter 4 is also my favorite Street Fighter game. Third Strike and 4, two of my favorites right there. But there's a distinct difference between Third Strike and 4. Maybe not too much in this buttons that you use, but the play style and the ideas and the introduction of different mechanics is different, and it just plays completely different than every other Street Fighter game, much like Street Fighter V, introducing ideas like V-triggers and stuff like that. Different, just very, very different. And all these games, I gotta, even if they don't work out, say that this game doesn't work out either, their play style, their rosters, and the way their characters are designed, and just everything about those games have a different feel to them. And I gotta commend Capcom for that. I really do. I'm really hoping that this game is good. I'm really anticipating this, especially, you know, I think seeing how they did these designs for these characters is really good. Now, I want to talk DLCs and stuff, because you already know they're probably gonna, I mean, not even probably, they're going to. Like, this is not the only thing that we're getting with this roster. You see Akuma in the current roster, and they're kind of still going off the thing with his long hair design, which I don't mind it now. I hated it when it came out in Street Fighter V. I've kind of grown accustomed to it now. I think it looks pretty okay, and actually in certain situations, like when he's doing the Raging Demon, it looks really cool. But DLC characters, I could probably say they're probably going to throw in characters like Poison, or they're not going to do Kage again, because a lot of people were asking for Evil Ryu. They were like, all right, let's satisfy the fanboys with Kage. But I think they're going to bring in Evil Ryu again. They may bring in other fan favorites in there as well, maybe. Characters like Vega, or, you know, just Bison and other characters. Like, who knows? Let me know down below in the comment section what your guys' roster characters that you guys want to see in this game. Comment below, let me know what you guys think of the gameplay. Also, let me know what some things you guys want to see them change up, maybe some introduction of different mechanics, maybe, because this still isn't due until next year. So they have plenty of time to add more touches to these characters in these settings. As always, if you guys like the video, make sure to subscribe today to join the Civilization.